welcome to the Tech Disruptors podcast. It has been a minute. We were away for a little week last week, had a little hiatus, a little tech break, if you will.
At the worst possible time.
I know, I know. We missed all of the Rabbit R1 burning in flames, and
I didn't miss it. It's right here.
I know you got it. But it's funny, a lot of people were talking about the color of the Rabbit R1.
Okay.
And so on my screen right now, when you hold that up, it looks like a orange juice. But in other colors,
yes. So I think it was an MKB. Somebody said that it doesn't look right on the camera. And this is a cheap webcam, but it does look like orange juice. But it is almost like a
red,
neon, deep orange.
Yeah,
red.
I like the color.
It does. It is cheap. I mean, it's plastic. But I don't think it's that bad. The worst thing about it is probably the screen, which you don't really need.
Yeah.
The camera is atrocious. But I don't think
we'll come back.
Yeah.
We'll come back to the Rabbit R1. Yeah.
Sorry.
So lots has happened in the last couple of weeks. We've got Pixel 8a being released very, very soon, this week, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
New iPads also this week. Mother's Day coming up. New Beats headphones.
Oh,
but man. I wanted to start, and I'm gonna quiz you here. I'm gonna give you a setup. So I want you to tell me how much you would pay for the following item. I'm just gonna give you specs, and you're gonna give me a number. Okay. I will say it is a computer. That's all. I'll just give you the context.
Now, when you say computer, you mean like a desktop,
like a PC,
or laptop?
Like a PC.
Okay.
Computer. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay. So it has 145,000 CPU cores, 313,000 gigabytes of RAM, and 36 petabytes of storage. How much would you buy that computer for?
Wow, I really need all of that right now too. I could crunch some video doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. Your YouTube videos would go from 480 to 720p for sure on that.
Well, I don't know if that's. I'm guessing this is the AMD Threadripper Extra Extreme.
Yeah.
No. I don't know. I could price $50,000. I don't know.
Okay, that was like very underestimated price there, but
it was.
Okay, so
you know why? Because you can get a maxed out Apple desktop for $50,000.
You can get a Vision Pro for that price.
Let me rephrase that. Let's try $1 million.
Okay, well let me give you this. Let me give you a little bit more statistics. It can do 5.34 quadrillion calculations per second.
I don't have a reference for that. Okay.
I don't know what that means. Okay. Anyway, so this supercomputer was purchased for $10 million by the U.S. government.
Does this supercomputer wear a cape?
No, it's called the Cheyenne supercomputer. It was bought by the U.S. government for $10 million. It was at auction. That started a week ago.
Hold on. Who the hell is auctioning off this computer?
The U.S. government.
Oh, I thought you said the U.S. government bought it.
They bought it, but now they're getting rid of it. It's an older model. Sure. It started at auction last week at $28,000. $28,000. And
do we know who purchased this?
So there are 6 minutes remaining. I'm going to share my screen right now.
It's still up.
See this? It is still up.
Is this?
We're going to put
out.
No, it's not. We're going to put a bid in right now. So there are 6 minutes remaining, and the current bid is $417,000.
For those people listening right now, I don't know how many there are. We need help.
Yes.
We're about $417,000 short. If you guys can help us out, we'll throw the $640.
I mean, our podcast will become amazingly good after this, but
unfortunately, Restream limits us at 720.
Now, the specs are impressive though. Sure. There's 14 units weighing 1,500 pounds each. Okay.
Well, if you're spending $400,000, you've got a truck.
Yeah, true. 8,064 units of the E5 2697 V4 18 core 2.3 gigahertz base frequency.
Ooh, the V4. I really want the V5. So
you were going to say that, but it's only DDR4 RAM. So
I'm on DDR6 on my Steam Deck.
That's deal breaker right there. But yeah, I've been watching this now for a little while because I thought it was hilarious that the US government's going to take such a big hit on this. But I don't know if you just noticed this, but the time just jumped from 6 to 9 minutes.
I'm gonna guess this isn't really a auction that's going to be. It's just one of those tactics where it just keeps changing to keep people. Anyways. This is the U.S. government, correct?
U.S. government.
What other government would do something like this?
I know, yeah. Who would sell it for such chaos?
This could power like an entire country.
It is a supercomputer by classification. So yes, you're probably 100% correct on that.
Here's the real question, and anybody who is a gamer would know: can this run Doom?
Can this run Doom? I would imagine probably Doom 2. Like a little bit more graphic intensive, right?
I wonder if it's 16K.
If it can play Quake, we're good.
Ooh,
if it can do Quake, Quake was always a favorite of mine. Like amazing.
It doesn't surprise me that you're watching this.
I just thought it was funny. I stumbled across this earlier today. Yeah.
Go ahead and mute your microphone. Go down to wherever you're at. Ask your wife if you could take a loan out. Your second or third mortgage and try to just leverage, the benefits of having this computer.
Do you want to know who would buy this? Dan from Grounded Tech. He absolutely.
Could you imagine that computer with the purple mic he has?
Well, you know what? Dan's got an idea here, a bit like one of the other YouTubers who are out there. Why don't we just ask for donations and buy it and then return it afterwards and keep the money?
Yeah, we buy it and say, ooh, we have 7 days. Yeah, on that 5th day, it just didn't work out quite well. I need to get
and never will it be spoken about again, or videos made about it.
I think I know what you're doing. Are you jabbing at somebody who may take donations for products and make a couple videos and say
I can't be held responsible?
So let's do a PayPal donation page to get this.
PayPal donation page.
I promise you guys we'll make tons of videos.
I tell you right now, go to onecutReviews.com. Go up to the top right-hand corner. There's like a sponsor me part. Mm-hmm. You put the money in there. I'll put this bid in right now. I reckon it's going to go for about 450. That's my guess. So 450,000.
No, I'm thinking about 7. Well, if this damn thing keeps going up from 6 to 9, it's going to be at $750,000 before you know it.
You know what?
But how do you know they paid $10 million for it? Does it say on there somewhere?
It said on the article that I was reading. It was from. It was in. So $10 million was the original price. But
and now you know why I can't afford phones, because all my tax dollars are going to computers that you're selling for 1/10 the price.
Well, there's that, and I mean, it's a supercomputer though. It's super by nature. So
if they could put a Superman costume on this computer, I'd buy it.
The time just jumped up again. This shit's not real.
Does it go up every time there's a bid made? I think that's what it is. Yeah.
But see, okay, so does that mean that there's a base price they're looking
a reserve for? Maybe?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, so every time someone makes a bid, it's going to jump up the time.
Yeah.
And then the last person who makes the bid, it'll just empty out eventually.
So we'll keep an eye on this throughout the show.
27 bidders?
Yes.
How many of them? 26 of those are me.
Well, and the other one's probably Roddy, a former, Tech Disruptors and,
could be.
Fan. He's probably using it for his porn, which would be amazing. Just imagine that. All those different total cores there. But anyway.
OnlyFans, that's too much for
OnlyFans, I know. Yeah. But I will keep an eye on. I'm going to keep that window open. I'm curious to see what it'll jump up to if it'll ever end.
And while our stream's going, you have to say something.
Absolutely. I will pause regular scheduled programming and we will go to there. Okay, let's talk the rabbit. We've already brought it up. Let's talk about this.
It's springtime. There's a lot of rabbits out there, but Easter has passed.
I saw one in my backyard actually this morning.
Yeah, my dog loves them too.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah, yeah. Tasty.
But I got a feeling you're talking about a different kind of rabbit.
Okay, so I know we mentioned this last week, the last show, that we were concerned is probably the best way to put it. that the Rabbit R1 was being met with mediocre reviews, I guess is the term we'll say.
And what I'll say, we talked about Humane Pen AI, which is a very similar product, obviously a little more over-engineered and probably and obviously more expensive.
Yep.
The reviews on that product were that it was a complete dumpster fire. At least this one's not a complete dumpster fire. It's just mediocre at best.
Yes. Well, okay. So this Engadget review came out earlier today.
Yep.
And I thought, I read it, and I mean, I understand frustration. And there's been a lot, like this Rabbit R1 has been cop and heat for the best part of the week on social media.
I agree.
Now, we'll come back to the whole, is it an app controversy in a second. But one of the things that's becoming bleedingly obvious with the Humane AI and the Rabbit R1 is that people are not buying into this notion of us needing hardware for AI. And it begs to ask the question, do we need an object like this in our lives? Now, Google, we know we've got a Google Assistant, we've got Siri. We've got Siri. We've got, all these other chat GPTs and Copilots and Gemini and all of this stuff. It's all happening. It's the year of AI. Mm-hmm. But is this it? Is this the direction we should be heading, or is this going to be the Google Glass of pre-AI, where we thought it was going to be?
Asking me, or are you? Just
I'm asking. I'm posing a question.
So you may or may not know, I recently penned an article. Jesus, who the hell uses a pen? Typed a quick article on this.
Coming out next week, by the way, just for the record. OneCutReviews.com.
I think what's going on here is, so there's two camps. I'm a tech guy at heart, so I'll try something out, even if it might be a failure. But I don't want it to be a complete failure. So I pre-ordered Pen AI. They ghosted me. I canceled. Then I started seeing trickles of it use, so I pre-ordered. Yep. And then it came out, and it was a complete dumpster fire. I mean, I'm in a Facebook group. I know it dates me because I'm on Facebook, but it's a group about people who own this, enthusiasts, and it's not going well. There's a few of those people that are saying it's the greatest thing, but mostly it's the laser going out. I do have the Rabbit. It's a $200 device. It's much cheaper. So is this where we should be going? I think the difference between Humane and this is the models they're using. This has the LAM, the large action model, which is supposed to be more of a not only like just talking, but also doing. Yes. And it's not quite there yet. But what I like about this, I can hold this button and say, give me the weather tomorrow, tell me a joke, and then order me some food from DoorDash. And it'll go through each one of those and answer them. And then when it's done, you don't have to re-answer the question. You can just keep going. Now, a lot of, Gemini probably does this. They're trying to get away from phones. We're just not quite ready as society to do that. And plus, our phones can do a hell of a lot more than any of these things can do. Yeah. AI is in infancy right now. We talked about this before the show. Everyone's rushing to get something out there to make money.
Yeah, and 100%. Yeah.
And people said, well, this could be an app. They made the hardware to make cash. Now, in the group I talked to, and I'm friends with a couple of on X with the people who actually created this, engineers. Yeah. And if it's not based on software, then what the hell is it? But the app we're seeing online is someone who, I don't know how they did it. I forget how they worded it. But the person actually created this, and it really wasn't fully capable of working. Now, I haven't seen a video if that's true or not, but it's Rabbit OS, and I don't know. It isn't a great product right now, but I'll tell you, the 2 updates that they gave have made it much better. And they've got this teach mode. That's coming out where you can turn the camera on or do something, and it'll learn. Either way, I think we're jumping ahead right now. I think we're in a bit of a limbo. I think hardware is probably not the key right now, but I do like where we're going. And how are we going to ever know what's going to succeed without companies trying?
Yeah, and we were talking about this before we went on air. And, one of the things that I said, and I've said this all along with AI, and I'm telling you, this movie inspired a generation of developers who are now into this AI stuff. That movie, Her, starring Joaquin Phoenix with his pocket folding device. We'll get to that in a second.
Hold on. Can I just do something real quick?
Yeah, go.
Okay, so I have the cameras facing out. You probably can't really see it.
I can see
and
it.
If I turn it turns towards me, and now I'm looking at myself in the screen. So
what does it say when you ask it?
I'm going to ask it right now. I don't know if it's going to be loud enough for us to hear. So I'm just going to say, what am I looking at?
Okay.
What am I looking at?
Let me take a look. You are looking at a computer or device screen displaying images and media controls.
Hold on.
The image on the screen shows a person holding an orange electronic device, likely a smartphone or camera, against a background of colorful flowers. The device appears to be the focus of the image. Below the image, you can see various media controls such as play, pause, and volume buttons, indicating this is likely a media player or editing interface.
No. That's it.
Yeah, okay.
So it pretty much tells you what it is. What's funny is I had the Rabbit screen or case, which is kind of nice, and it says Rabbit R1 on the bottom. I looked right at it and pointed, what is it? And I said, what are you looking at? This is a Rabbit device. Maybe it's a device that's electronic. And I'm like, come on, you don't even know what your cell is? Come on. It'd be interesting to put that in a mirror.
Yes. Oh,
but
absolutely,
anyways,
yeah.
You go ahead. I'm sorry, I interrupted your talk about the her, which I agree with you on this.
So I think I'm gonna pull up this. I know we've done this before in this show, but I just want to kind of show this clip here because I think this is what we want AI to be. So, basically a handheld device or an OS that is a bit like, I want to get dinged for copyright, but
so that's what we're searching for. And this is almost there. When it first came out, you couldn't do GPS. So I'd say, what's the weather where I'm at? I can't tell you, Logan. It can't make phone calls or text messages, but it's got a SIM card slot, and I put a SIM card in it.
Yep.
GPS is now enabled. But like I said, hey, my daughter's name is blah, blah, blah. Oh, I'm glad to hear that you have a daughter named this. I go, her birthday is on this date. Then I say, hey, what's my daughter's name and birthday? At this time, I cannot remember those things. I'm like, what the
Oh my God.
So Gemini's on a different level. I know Google's working on some advanced AI, and I probably shouldn't be saying this, but I was in a focus group a while back, and they were asking me questions about memories. And something like that would be like, you could tell Google Assistant, hey, I have a daughter named blank. She's this is her birthday, and it'll remember it and put it in your calendar.
Yeah.
This is not the rabbit hole they call, has like 3 things you can do. What is the Uber, DoorDash,
some like generative
Spotify, and then there's some
other thing.
Yeah, it's an AI image generator. And what's funny about it, you have to pay for it, and I don't.
Of course. Yeah.
So I said, generate a picture of a cat wearing a dress. I cannot generate pictures at this time. You're not only Chat GPT.
Yeah.
You also have a screen, and you can't produce images.
Exactly. So let me ask you this. Remember when we pre-ordered, we had that credit for some...
I gotta explain that this is based on that.
Oh, okay.
And that's a very good AI. So that charges, but Rabbit has, what's it called?
A contract with them?
Yeah, they have a contract, but I can't remember what the company's called. Not know why I can't remember this.
Preemptive or... Yeah, I can't remember what it's called.
Perplexity or something
Perplexity,
like that.
that's the one. That's it,
yeah.
Perplexity.
So basically what it was is they teamed up with Perplexity. Yeah, to do their AI. The credit was given so that if you wanted to have that app in the pro level on all your devices, so there's an app, so you can install it on your phone, your tablet, your computer, and that'll give you a free year on those devices. But from what I've read, it's included with Rabbit.
Okay, so it's there.
It's like part of their backbone of their AI.
I think a lot of the reviewers have been saying that if this will be a kind of product that has a lot of updates, and it eventually, maybe at the end of the year, might work.
No, it's not.
Or it might not.
It's got a MediaTek chip that's a crap. It's not terrible, but it's not a good chip.
So there was a controversy this week about the Rabbit R1 being an app, and I'm just going to pull up the article. This was on The Verge. So from what I understand, Android Authority downloaded the Rabbit Launcher APK on a Google Pixel 6a.
Mm-hmm.
And basically they were running it like the actual.
But it
program
wasn't
itself.
connected to the cloud, I don't believe.
Yeah. So, but it begs to ask the question, right? Like, is this so when you see articles like this, what pops into my head? I go, okay, so is this a company that really feels like it will be the leader in this AI push with hardware-based solutions? Or is this a guy who's trying to make a quick buck by putting an app on a nicely made piece of hardware when it could just be installed on a phone?
Kind of funny. You see the AI, and this is in its that Juicero era or whatever. That there was that machine that basically just had juice in a box, and it was.
Yeah.
I think it's both. I think all these companies, Humane, like there is some stuff going into this. It's not just they have to know what they're doing a little bit. I mean, Teenage Engineering didn't just throw a piece together. It's a nice.
Oh, it's a beautiful looking design. Yeah. Like design, I mean, it really is.
The scroll wheel is kind of weird, and it's got a touchscreen, but you can't use it, kind of. But I think, like you said, it's going to get better over time. But this guy and his team, they pushed it out to make money, but to also, for the consumer, it's going to push forward the notion of what's next. And I think it's a good stab in the dark, and for me, it's worth paying $199 to try it. But I'm not willing to pay $700 for a pin that's going to drag my shirt down and overheat in 5 minutes on a 90-degree day and have a laser that goes out every time.
Yeah. Like, I think, we talked about, I keep coming back to that video by Dave 2D, who basically said these companies, even though they're real products and they really exist, he called it. He's like, this could be bullshit. This just
it wasn't a scam. They are real.
It wasn't a scam. They are real. But, part of what his argument was that these are just companies trying to make some money. And then, and look, how long do you think it's going to be before we get a Chinese version knockoff ripoff of this shit on the
It's
market?
not even that. Google and Apple are going to do the same thing, and they're already been doing it. And I think once they do it, and that's another reason why these are rushed out, I think because you have Google I/O coming up next week or in a week and a half. You got Apple doing their thing, WWDC, whatever they call it. And these companies are going to, and Apple's about right on the cusp of releasing a bunch of AI stuff because, they invented AI. We're going to find out. So these companies are just pushing stuff out. And I think we talked about it before too. Maybe Humane and even maybe Rabbit are along those terms of, okay, we made a quick buck. Now someone's going to buy us.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't think they have anything new enough that Google's going to want to buy or Apple's going to. I could see Apple buying it just because they need something. But it's just a hook to AI and they're presenting it in a unique way. You're right. It's not rocket science. This isn't anything that, I guess it's new, but it's not. And I talked about this before. This is a solution looking for a problem.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
So, and I own this, and I'm not trying to be hard on them. I actually generally like the device, and it's already better in the week I've had it since they've done some updates. Battery life was never terrible for me. I don't know I ever complained about that, but it isn't a great device right now. And if anybody's out there wanting to use it as a full-time device, don't. But if you want to test something out and have fun, go for it.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. So, for our listeners, our viewers out there, Jason and I have actually been working on our own AI-generated movie. We've been working on it since January, and we're actually going to share.
What am I doing? We're just going to take Darren out of this. I don't know what he's doing. Something's just not right. Look, you know what? We'll just take it off.
Listen, it took us months. You should be proud of this, okay?
Is this Sora?
This is Sora.
Nah. I think this is Tuna Tech AI. And that last picture of that alien-looking thing, I asked it to generate a picture of the official Darren, and that's what it gave me. I mean, that's what the web came up with.
All I'm waiting for the Mac and Me thumbnail. So it's the kid falling and like that little guy's head with my face on it.
Well, I'll talk to our editing team and our engineering team, see if we can work that out. Because we have a large team behind this high quality production. So
of course. All right. Moving on. Let's talk the Pixel 8a. So the Pixel 8a is coming. It is coming.
Let me ask you this. You know it's coming, probably more than I know it's coming.
Yeah.
Is this the last A series?
They did not mention that in the
They.
embargoed event. Is the simple way that I'll put it. There was
Okay.
no mention of that. But I also don't think they would mention that because I think it's the type of thing where we're going, okay, well, maybe it might be, maybe it won't be. But I think probably the biggest telltale sign is if the Pixel 9, 9 Pro, and 9 Pro Fold get
And
released.
Pro XL.
Yeah, and Pro XL and the 9 Pro Fold get it released in whenever, September, October. I'm imagining this is probably the last one. I don't think
because
they'll
it
bring
replaced
the
by the regulars, like the 9.
I
or
think
the
so.
10.
Yeah.
You're right.
And
Why would they say, guess what, guys? Here's the Pixel 8a.
Yeah,
this is
that is our
time.
last one. But I mean,
No
that
one's
could
gonna buy
also
it.
be that could also be a selling feature. I mean, like it being the last of something makes people buy it for nostalgic purposes.
But here's
too.
the question: the A series always excelled on its price, and they've been slowly getting more expensive, like everything else in the world. If this is not a good deal, I think nothing has a chance to kind of jump in.
I don't know if I'll get in trouble. I don't know if I'll get in trouble for saying this. But it is more expensive in Canada this year.
Well, that's not. I mean, everything is more expensive in Canada.
It's true. Yeah, I know. I mean, we call that the ocean tax of Canada here. But
I thought it was more like the moose tax, but whatever.
Yeah, but so I mean, the basic setup, what we know so far. So it's basically very similar to last year design wise. Funky new green color.
I like that green color. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. It's kind of like what's that terrible Ryan Reynolds superhero movie? Green Lantern. Green Lantern Green. That's what they should have called it.
They've got to come up with a Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern case for that.
Yes.
Or a skin. D-brand, make that skin.
Yes, make that skin right there.
That'll make that movie more popular all over. Did you watch the movie? I know we're off topic now.
It was terrible.
I think it was terrible.
It was okay. I mean, it was
his future wife was in it, wasn't she?
It's true. This is true. Yeah. You say, yeah, that's right. All these superhero movies. I mean, that was one of the pre-Marvel movies. You got to remember that. That was like early. This was like coming out of superhero.
Well, and Green Lantern's DC, isn't it? I don't think it's Marvel.
Yeah, but my point is,
it's before the big hit.
Before the hits, right? So, I mean, it was either going to be good or bad, and unfortunately, it's not great. But so what we know so far is classic, metal frame, camera bar.
Spoiler alert: if you don't want to know what's going to happen, what's going to be in these phones, don't listen.
Yeah. Now, I will say this much. From what it looks very similar to the Pixel 8 in almost every sense of the word.
But the corners seem more rounded.
A little bit more roundy.
I don't mind that.
I think that'll be the theme of the 9 series as well this year.
From the weeks we've seen, it does.
Yep. Tensor G3, which is the same that's in the Pixel 8 and 8 Pro. You're still getting all the lovely AI features.
That don't work on the phone, only in the cloud. Yeah, okay.
Yep. So you're getting all that stuff. I believe there's going to be waterproofing just like last year.
Wireless charging? I don't think do they include that?
I don't know if they do wireless charging. I can't remember if they do wireless charging now.
Either.
Maybe. The camera will probably be the same one that's in the Pixel 8, which is very good. But
remember when they had that same sensor for like 10 years and they did fantastic. So that don't bother me either. It's all about AI and computer,
Now, what will be interesting, and this is what I don't know if they've confirmed this yet, if they do the 7 years of security updates like they're doing with the 8.
I read somewhere they were.
Because that would be impressive. I would love to. That would make this phone. I mean, sure, it's still basically a Pixel 8, but if you were looking for a budget device with good support, there's not a lot of phones. Yeah.
7 years is a gimmick.
Oh, no, I know.
Because most people aren't going to keep their phone for 7 years. And if you are, it's going to be on the phone charger constantly because the battery's done.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're the kind of person that keeps sending it back to get a new battery and paying $200, half the phone's price to get it replaced, I guess.
Yeah.
But I mean, I get it. It's a selling point. We know it's going to be supported for a long time. But I think 4 years is ample for most people.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. No, I agree. And, it's one of these things where, sorry, I just realized that the color that what they called that green color. Can you guess? Go. What did they call it?
Seaweed. I don't know.
Aloe.
And you know,
Yeah.
and in true Google form, they get rid of
Yeah.
our VPN on the Google One subscription, which is bull crap.
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt if they just say, "Hey, our phones aren't selling well. We're not doing the 7 years," and they back out of it. Wouldn't surprise me.
Ooh, Tuna calling out Google right there, right?
Hey,
see how it is.
I'm a Google fan, but some of this crap, they gotta knock it off. I don't
So
think they're gonna do it. I think they're gonna bounce back. So whatever.
so
Everyone
okay.
go buy a Rabbit R1 instead.
All right. So I'm okay. So I'm just
Okay.
so I was lucky enough. I'm under embargo, and this is just I know a little bit more about here. I'm trying not to say too much, but I will say
I'm
this
not.
much. Just
So if you tell me and then I
It's
tell
okay.
everyone,
that's fine. So I'm just reading the information they sent out. I'm not going to say too much, but just coming off of what you just said, it says here that it comes with VPN by Google One. I don't know what that means.
Well, it may be one of those things where the VPN's only staying with Pixel devices for a couple more years, and like I don't have a Pixel device anymore.
Yeah,
and I have Google One though, so that was included with Google One. Maybe they're, I don't know. I like the VPN service. It's so nice and easy, but whatever.
Yeah, I know, and I mean, yeah, that's what she said. But look, I mean, Google, the A series has always been very popular. It's also won camera phone of the year in the blind camera test that Marquez does multiple years now, I believe, maybe even back to back.
You could even say without the A series, Pixel wouldn't be on the map right now. They struggled for a while.
Here is the problem. So here is the problem I perceive with the A series this year.
Okay.
A lot of the Android phones that have come out this year, like the OnePlus 12, for example, are very, very good at a very, very affordable price.
Yeah, and it depends on what you want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if people are going to say, I can save myself maybe, $150 to get this.
We don't know how much this is going to cost because you're under embargo and it's not available yet. So
exactly, I don't know. I'm not going to tell any prices or anything. All I know is that it will be a little bit more expensive in Canada. But again, that always happens because Canada is fucking
maple syrup,
basically
tax. Yep,
yeah,
we get it.
Yeah. But again, people love this device. They love the A series. It's pocketable. It's small. It's got
and we're
battery.
Not the general public. We buy phones all the time, and tech doesn't like humane. We buy things that don't even do well. So general public may jump all over this, but again, it depends on the price. You've had the Nothing 2A, which has been a pretty stellar device.
Yep.
You've got the 12, which is more expensive, but it's in a higher class. I think there was years ago where the mid upper range phones were all the rage. I think we're getting back to that. People are realizing like, hey, we don't have to spend $1,200 on an Apple. We don't have to spend $1,000 on this. We can get a device a couple $100 less and have most of what we actually need. And for me personally, it's all about the camera. So I'm willing to take a hit with something like this and pay a little, maybe $100 less and get a slower process for the better camera. Because I had the 12 and I think it's a great device, but that Pixel's camera is just always trustworthy.
Yeah, and that's exactly. I mean, and that's really what it's about, right? I mean, I know Google this year, it might be a big year for Google. They've got the second generation Pixel Fold coming out. They've got, another iteration to their very popular Pro series and maybe even the Pro XL. But I don't know. I don't know if it's so much of a value proposition as it once was. And that's kind of concerning.
The market's getting crowded. You're right. When it came out, it was a trendsetter. It won some awards. But this kind of leads me to something else, if you don't mind me saying.
Yeah.
So Apple is releasing the 16 coming up.
Yes.
And there's been some issues with America and Department of Justice.
Yep.
And a monopoly and iMessage and all that crap. There's been a few articles popping up that Apple's walled garden is falling.
Yes.
And that maybe their grip on America is going to be slipping. Now, this isn't going to happen overnight for anybody. And I'm going to sound strange, but I wouldn't be remiss if I didn't wasn't okay with that. And here's why I say that. Because I think that Apple's is a monopoly.
Yes.
And maybe not in the rest of the world, but in the US they are. I want an even playing field, and I want everyone to compete. And when you block somebody in because they have a phone that a watch that only works with one person,
yeah,
I think that we need to have a more like if you go to China, yeah, you can buy an iPhone, but you also got tons of other devices that just work, and you don't see any Chinese phones with a certain app that only work. I don't know. To me, this isn't a surprise. The walled gardening is falling, but here in the U.S., it's going to be a long time before they actually fail. But they are losing money. Yeah, they are losing money.
Well, I mean, I think there was an article that came out this week about how, someone was saying it doesn't matter how many Vision Pros Apple sells because they've proven that they can do new products and like really innovative products.
It's not innovative though.
Well, but here's the thing: to the average Apple consumer, the person who buys the same phone over and over and over and over and over again, they might look at something like the Vision Pro and go, "Oh my God, look at this! It's revolutionary!" Not knowing that there have been many, many, many other products similar to it in the market for some time.
I get it. We're outside of the standard people. I get it.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I know they're working on their own, I guess, answer to a lot of this year's problems, and just sticking with the whole AI thing. So there was an article that came out last week, I believe, about how they're in talks with OpenAI so that they can tie in a potential chatbot.
So is Google out?
Well, here's the thing. So we know that they've been partnering up with Google, but this was an article that came out late last week.
Okay.
So are they shopping around? That's
well. Here's my question: is Google going to pay? So Google pays Apple to be their search engine or whatever.
Yep.
Is Google going to have to pay Apple for Gemini on their phone, or is Apple going to pay?
No idea.
See, this is where their market share in the U.S. might make a big difference.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. It's funny when you see articles like this. I just kind of go, okay, so they're either shopping around for the best AI or the best value or whatever, or this is going to be like a joint partnership between Google, OpenAI, and Apple.
Well, let me ask you this: you're Apple, and you got $1 billion to start some kind of AI on your device.
Yeah.
ChatGPT, you approach them and you say, "This is what I want," and they say $500 million to start. Yeah. And then you go to Microsoft and they're like $600,000. And you go to Google and say, and they say, "Well, you know, we have the market pretty much cornered. We're going to ask for $1 billion." If you're Apple and you're a $1 trillion company, who are you going to rest your laurel? Who are you going to give your money to?
Well, this is I mean, I don't know how.
I'm asking you that. That's the question.
I would say Microsoft.
See, I would do Google because they've shown that with their assistant and Gemini they can do it.
Yeah,
well, I guess Copilot's okay.
But so no, see, my thinking is Apple likes to make their own versions of shit and then
like their maps. That was what TomTom. Yeah, they really made their own maps.
But see, I think
they like to buy things and say it's theirs.
But that's what I'm getting at. So they could literally buy Microsoft's Copilot and then throw their 8 billion engineering team at them and say, "Fix this fucking shit up. We've got a foundation. We've got a scaffold."
No, Microsoft won't sell. ChatGPT is not going to sell, and Google's definitely not going to sell.
I don't know, man. I think ChatGPT would sell.
So
I do.
In the automotive industry, there was an example of what was it? Honda, before they made the Honda Odyssey, they wanted to enter the minivan segment. So they borrowed, I don't know if it was a Zuzu or something, and a lot of car companies do this. Like Volkswagen used Dodge to make their reverse van, and they do that so they don't have to put a lot of engineering into it and see if it's a viable product. So what Apple should do is borrow someone for now to see if people are actually going to use it, and if they do, then start working on their own. And that's what Apple usually does anyways. They don't really innovate anymore. They just take a product and they make it better or suited for their people who use their devices. So I think that's what they should do. I'm no $1 trillion man, so maybe I'm not the best guy to give this kind of advice, but it'd be
the best $1 trillion man.
I'm a $quadrillion man.
Fair enough. Fair. Now let me ask you this, right? Because we know this week they're also launching their iPads on the 7th.
Yeah.
Now, here's the question. This is a very different Apple launch. It's early in the morning, like 7 a.m. Pacific time is the launch time. Like that's when it's going out to the world. I think that's like 10 o'clock Eastern for those who are
Yeah, that's what
interested.
it says right there. Yeah.
So are we going to see AI features in these new iPad Pros?
I don't know. I was told AI will be introduced along with RCS in iOS 18.
Yeah, because
So
I know
they got to start. Well, I shouldn't say they got enough money to put it all on everything if they wanted to. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's a good question. I don't know.
because I know, like from what I understand, the big push this year is obviously the OLED screens and fancy shit there and updated stuff.
I'm pretty sure OLED has been done by other
Oh,
manufacturers.
100%, but never on an iPad. But the functionality with the Apple Pencil is what's coming in interesting. So the rumors are that you're going to have the same kind of functionality that you get with your S Pen on, say, like a S24 Ultra, coming to these new iPad Pros. So they become more of a tablet drawing device, whatever, than ever before. And with that nicer screen, brighter colors, it becomes that, I guess, laptop replacement more so than ever, right? Or like
everything you just said, and maybe I'm an outlier, means nothing to me. I don't
No,
really draw.
yeah.
But here's what's funny. You're going to watch this thing, and they're going to market it so damn... Because this event isn't an event to show off. This is an event to say, hey, here's what's coming. This is a show off.
Yeah.
They're going to make it sound like it's something you have to have. It's just like the Humane Pin AI and the Rabbit R1. They proposition these things as things you had to have, and then they didn't deliver. Now, I'm not saying Apple's going to not deliver, but they're going to make it sound like the best thing since sliced bread, and everyone's going to jump all over it. And I think, honestly, I don't think tablets are really that much that. I think they're actually losing ground overall.
I don't know, man. Like if they're saying here, it will be an M4 chip iPad Pro, which would be the absolute most powerful device that Apple has on the market today. It's going
to be $4,000.
It's going to be, and that's exactly right. I mean, look at all the MacBooks now. Like all of that shit's fucking through the roof, right? But they're like looking at this article here. Like there's apparently, according to Mark Gurman from the Bloomberg, there, who's a very strong source for Apple things. He's saying it's a strong possibility. And he said, and I'll quote, I don't know if you can read this here, but he says, Apple will position the tablet as its first truly AI-powered device. I don't know what that means or what that looks like exactly.
Look, I'm interested in seeing what they're going to offer for AI, but I don't think it's anything that's going to be revolutionary. It's not going to be anything that Google, Microsoft, ChatGPT ain't going to come out with later. It's all going to be, everyone copies everyone now. So
yeah. And I mean, look, you got to have your classic iPad Air refresh, new chip, all of that shit, right?
Have you seen is it the Vivo or Xiaomi? I think it's Vivo, like their Pro tablet that they released with the Dimensity 9300.
No, I haven't seen that one.
I don't know if it's Vivo or Oppo. It's like a 14. It's like a 14-inch screen. Keyboard,
it's like a TV.
But it's like the Samsung Tab Ultra. Yeah, and it looked like a badass device. OLED, like 10 speakers, and I think it's only available in the Chinese market now. But like all these companies are doing this stuff, and I don't know how popular they really are. I don't know.
I would like to know how many people buy iPads. Like, okay, so I know Mother's Day is coming up, and a common gift, I guess, if you're a tech lover, would be a new piece of hardware, right? Like phone, tablet, etc. I was looking at buying one for my wife just now. We always buy, in our household, I was just going to buy her like a standard iPad. Not a
She's
new
an
one,
iPhone user, right?
She's an iPhone user, yeah.
Makes sense, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I was going to buy her one of those.
So can I ask you a question? When you text your wife, do you make it a green bubble then?
Well, I'm texting from a Vivo, so yes.
How dare you?
Well, here's the funny thing. Increasingly now, we find ourselves using WhatsApp. And because to date myself, we used to communicate with each other at work through Facebook Messenger because in our buildings we have notoriously bad cell service.
Right.
But because she wears an Apple Watch and they got rid of Facebook Messenger off her Apple Watch, she never reads her messages because she never takes her phone out. But on the Apple Watch, she does get WhatsApp messages through the WhatsApp native
doesn't
WhatsApp.
she get iMessage messages too?
But I don't get iMessages. I don't have iMessage. Only she does because I don't have
she
an
won't
iPhone.
get an SMS if it turns out.
No.
Okay, that's what I was
Yeah.
asking. Okay, well,
So-
I wonder if RCS. You know what? I wonder if RCS will allow that.
Well, that's what I'm saying,
won't.
right?
It
So
won't.
it won't.
No.
No, it won't. But I don't know. I mean, I think it's an interesting. I think they've got some stuff coming, and I think they're gonna have some kind of AI shit. I don't know what it's gonna be.
Funny enough, you brought up WhatsApp.
Yeah.
So part of this walled garden falling
Yep.
is Meta's big push in WhatsApp.
Yeah.
And they said they've seen a 7 to 10% increase in usage from iPhone users
Ah, there you go.
in the US.
Yeah. Because everybody uses WhatsApp in other parts of the world, right?
Instead of Telegram, we should all switch to WhatsApp.
WhatsApp, yeah.
Telegram's fine. But I
Yeah.
think the world is saying, hey, if you're texting or messaging somebody, generally in the world, not just the US, the world
Yeah.
uses WhatsApp. No one else uses iMessage.
Do you want to know why I don't use WhatsApp very often? I get
Why is that?
more spam through WhatsApp than I don't get anything on Telegram. Nothing. I mean
Is that
zero.
because there's more users on WhatsApp?
I
Maybe?
believe so. And I always get these like, hey, are you looking for a job? Like recruiting messages or hey,
You're
hi.
looking for a
it's
good
me.
time.
No, but I get those like scam messages where it's like, oh, hey, do you remember me? It's Julie. And then they want you to spark a conversation so that they can, solicit you on
Right.
something, right? I always reply back and just say, I don't speak English in English, and then I just block them.
Can I tell you a funny story?
Yeah.
It's kind of off topic, but so I have multiple phones. And I
Yeah, we
often
know.
have different SIM cards, so I can use them all. Well, my daughter plays soccer, and we're a busy couple, busy family. So I pick up my daughters, and we head to the soccer field, and my wife is supposed to meet us later.
Okay.
And I'm sitting there, and the game started, and she's not here, and she goes, hey, did the game change? I go, what do you mean? She goes, the location. I said, well, it's at this park. She goes, oh, I didn't know that. I said, oh, you have the coach's number. I thought maybe he'd send you a message. He told us at the last practice.
Yeah.
She's like, did you text me earlier? I said, no. She goes, well, someone texted me and said, where are we at today? And I said, okay, it wasn't me. She goes, well, I thought it was you just from a different number because you have so many damn numbers.
Yeah.
So she called she called the number and said, honey, where are you at? And it was some
Oh no! Oh no! That does not
So-
look good.
chick. So I said, oh, that was, I don't know who that girl was. I have no idea.
Block. Yeah.
So
yeah,
you don't use
no.
WhatsApp because of spam. I just want to use it because it seems like I would love the world to have a general messaging app
Yes,
that
just
anybody can
one.
use. And I
Yeah.
swear to God, there's those iPhone users that will be like, hell no, iMessage is the best. And no one
Yeah.
uses them but the US. No
Yeah.
one.
Well, it's funny because I have WhatsApp. I have conversations in WhatsApp for like my son's baseball team and the coaches and all of that. And then I have like all of us guys from Telegram and guys at work and stuff like that. I'm just constantly getting messages from different applications. I fucking lose track sometimes. I don't know what the fuck's going on, but I almost honestly like it. You're right. We need a universal platform here. Like it's getting ridiculous. Like how many of these things.
I don't want iMessage for Android. I don't. And
No, I don't
RCS
care.
And
Yeah.
RCS is fantastic if you use messages.
This is yeah.
Do you use RCS at all?
I always have it on.
Have you seen the new animated emojis?
Yeah, I have. They look good.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I
I know
know.
it sounds dumb, but I think it's cool.
The future is now. The future is now.
The future. is now.
What you wanted to talk about TikTok? I believe. I just wrote down TikTok Jason on my.
Well, there's a thumbnail.
Yes. So why don't you tell us what's going on in the world of TikTok right now, Jason?
So Biden
us.
has just signed to ban TikTok in the U.S. because they're owned by a Chinese company, I believe, called ByteDance.
ByteDance, yes.
Remember the specifics. I don't have it. I told you I had all the stuff written down. I lost a lot of it.
Oh, I got it right here. 1 second.
Interestingly enough, in this proposal, Biden is giving what 9 to 12 months to sell to a company that's not owned by China. Why the hell would ByteDance do this? The other issue is if they don't sell, they can appeal, they can fight, and during all this time, we're still going to be using it.
And that's exactly right. They're not going to shut it down. Like it's going to keep going on. And it's funny right now, like a lot of these like music artists and stuff are starting to put their music back on there. Like Olivia Rodrigo, Drake, they're all returning back to the platform. So is this just America's way of saying we don't agree?
Okay. Do we believe? I don't want to put you on the spot, but do we really believe that China is using TikTok to spy? And if they are, why is the U.S. the only ones that are scared?
Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. The shit that's on TikTok is fucking retarded. It's so dumb and so stupid. And
not all of it. There's some funny stuff.
Listen, what could China possibly learn from TikTok to spy on the American government?
Well, I think it's more like what can they do with, like, are they data mining once the app's on your phone? But Google does it.
Yeah, Google, I know they all do it. Like, I just don't know. See, I honestly feel like this has got nothing to do with the Chinese government. You want to know what I think it's got to do with? I think the US government and many governments around the world are struggling to pull people away from their devices. And this is their way of justifying the squeeze in the simplest way. The squeeze to make people be on their devices less and be paying attention more. I feel like that's what it is.
So the question is the U.S. being... Well, hold on, I gotta watch what I'm saying here because we are live. Is the U.S. being a bunch of crybabies?
Yep.
Because have you ever heard these tech people in the Senate and the government? Do you know that this accesses Wi-Fi? And the guy is like, yeah, it's an app. It has to get on the internet. Oh, see? What the hell are you talking about? Every app. It's.
I don't know. I mean, we've had this. How many times have we had this happen where like an app's about to get banned, or like a product's getting banned, or a company is getting banned because of some stupid, ridiculous notion that the Chinese government gives two fucks about what's happening in North America. I honestly think the Chinese government is sitting back and laughing and just going, like, there, you guys are fucking crazy. And I honestly feel like they don't care. I don't think they have a reason to care. They've got more people. They've got more like manpower, more like resources. Listen,
they're just thinking, look, we have the U.S. so scared that they have to. And ByteDance, the only thing I can think of is like, the U.S. is probably one, if not, maybe not the only, but probably one of the biggest users of TikTok.
Yeah.
So you got to imagine with ad income, and they're making a hell of a lot of money. So they don't want to lose the U.S., obviously, because that's going to be a huge hit to their bank. But I guess what would be the benefit of selling to somebody else? You get a big payout?
I don't know. Who do you remember who it was this week? It was Soulja Boy. You know the rap artist?
I'm never listening to that guy.
He said he was going to buy TikTok, and would I love to see that, because that would be like...
Do you know how he's going to buy TikTok? Buy all his Chinese gaming consoles that he resells with a Soulja Boy name on it. Here's what I propose.
Yeah.
Let's cancel that auction.
Yeah.
And I'm going to reach out on X to all my followers. Uh-oh.
It's $480,000 and $85. It's counting down.
Before I finish my statement, let's see what happens here. This is like, watch someone bid.
Right here. This could be gone. If this is us, this would be amazing.
I put the last bid in.
This is it. I think this is it. They did it.
We got it.
That is sold. $480,085.
So
from 10 million.
I gotta break the news to you.
Yeah, that was you, wasn't it?
We lost. Someone sniper bid us.
Right.
So with the money that I'm gonna post on X and Instagram and Facebook and just ask for the people to donate money so that we can buy TikTok. And we're going to call it Tech Disruptors Talk. Tech Talk.
Tech Talk. I like that. That's good. We'll start our own TikTok channel, and we'll just upload all the crazy.
And you will be the sole producer of all the new dances.
You know what? Leave it with me. No problem. No problem.
You'll be the CEO or the COO of dance.
Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I think we should have a big congratulations to bidder number 26, who managed to snag the Cheyenne supercomputer. Let me ask you this. You buy this. What are you doing with this fucking thing? Where are you putting it?
Well, my thing is, this is probably not a person. This is probably a school, college.
A school?
I mean, why not?
A
college.
Maybe a college.
Higher education. I don't know. Or it's some new. It's probably Marquez Brownlee buying it. He's got enough money. MKBHD
you know what?
bought it.
It fucking would not surprise me if there's a video that comes out.
He's gonna have those cool camera angles where he's gonna zoom in on.
Honestly, if it comes out next week that there's a video, he goes, "I bought a supercomputer." I'm telling you now, we called it. We called it right here, right now.
Here's what I'm going to call.
It's
going to be him. It's going to be Linus Tech Tips. It's going to be...
Yes, we're one of those
maybe
guys.
Not Austin. Maybe not Austin.
No.
He's too... Yeah, I love his channel, but they're not near as serious as Linus Tech.
I think Marquez or Linus would be my
Unbox Therapy?
Maybe Unbox Therapy. That would be pretty cool.
But it's a used device. They really can't unbox it. Flossie Carter.
No, I think that's he wouldn't buy shit like this. I'm thinking.
Yeah, he would. He have white shoes all over that damn thing.
I know, it's hilarious, but yeah, the Cheyenne supercomputer is no more. We were there when we first started. We were there back when it was 26
wait, hold on.
years.
This just in. My sources are telling me that Dan from Grounded Tech won the final bid.
Yep, I stole his credit card
next week. Our people will reach out to his people. Yeah. Our people will reach out to his.
I'm kind of curious here because it says there were 27 bidders. Oh, okay. So there were 27 registered bidders, and bidder number 26 is the one who won it. Got it. That's impressive.
I don't know what you do with this. I don't know. It's in Cheyenne. What the hell is in Cheyenne?
I don't know. I don't know what this is. But I just wanted to see if they gave you the...
Pictures on the side of what the unit looks like?
Absolutely, yeah. Let me see.
We got to see this. Oh, so beautiful. Cheyenne. So if hopefully the person who bought it has a wife named Cheyenne.
Those are fucking massive. Where are you putting those fucking things?
Again, the person who has this kind of money to spend on this probably has plenty of room. But what are you going to use it for? That's the real question.
I mean, it comes with all the cabling.
I know what it is. We have WWDC coming up.
Oh,
Apple bought this for their AI. They're going to power AI.
Let me ask you a quick question. So... let's just say
look at that nest of wires. Yeah, holy shit.
They unplug this fucking thing and they send it to your house with all of these fucking cables. You'll be putting this shit together for years.
Could you imagine getting this, they ship it to you and you open, man, this is so cool. And then the last box is like 1,500 pounds and it's all wires. Not color coded.
Look at this. Oh,
holy shit.
I don't even know. Whoever the poor soul.
My guesstimate here is Apple or MKBHD have purchased this device, and we are going to see a video about this very shortly. And if I'm wrong,
honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if this is what's going down. But listen, one thing's for sure, it wasn't us. And now that I've seen those,
I was bidder 25.
You were 25, so, yeah. I was 23. I had missed out by just a touch. But one thing's for sure, it ain't going to be us putting it together. And feel sorry for the guy who does have to reassemble that, or girl.
If the person who bought this does watch our podcast and would like us to help, I will come to you with a camera and watch you put it together and video record it for YouTube.
You know what? We will both go to your location and we will live stream our podcast right from the room the Cheyenne computer's being installed.
Even watching you in the background cussing up a storm because you can't figure the damn thing out.
It would be immensely joyful to watch that.
That would be fun. Yeah. That would be really fun.
All right. Well, anyway, that actually brings us to the end of our Tech Disruptors podcast. Thank you very much for everybody that's tuning in and checking us out the next day on Spotify. And just remember, we are on YouTube. You can like and subscribe so that you never miss a future show. But listen, I believe we helped sell a computer tonight. I'm just saying, we helped sell a
and buy yourself an R1. Why not?
Yeah. Maybe the company that sells the R1 should have bought the Cheyenne supercomputer to process those AI, right?
With the 100,000 units they just sold.
Yeah, there you go. Well, anyway, on that note, I am Darren, and this is
Jason.
And we are the Tech Disruptors. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we will catch you on the next one.